This is Waga and welcome back to the channel. What we're going to do today is build up the various widgets that we will use in the app. The three of them. The first one is the toast widget. The toast widget is we use Flutter to create it, and it's what gives us the error message when we try to create, for example, an entry without a name. Let me just show it on the screen. So, for example, if we try to hit save, it will say something like get the name or something, whatever error message we give the toast. Or you could also say if you create a name with one character, it will also give you another toast. It'll say make it longer. So that's what we're going to do today, and also the other widgets. So first things first is we are going to go to the widgets folder, right click it, and create new dart file. It's going to be called toast.dart. So we just hit toast, hit enter, and yeah, we go there. So on toast.dart, we're going to obviously use Flutter toast, which we imported, which we put in the PubSpec YAML, and we are going to say import Flutter toast like this. Yeah, and then we are going to have the method void toast. It's going to take whatever message we put on it. So it's going to take the message. You can check the documentation to see how Flutter toast is used, and we are going to say flutter toast like this dot show toast, and the message is going to be msg like the one we passed in, msg. The toast length is going to be toast length dot long. You could say long or short, or even center. The gravity, where we want to put it, we would say gravity is toast gravity dot center. We could put it at the center, the bottom, but we'll put it at the center. And the time it will last, on the screen we could say time in sec for iOS like this. iOS, I guess it's changed. I'm guessing it's changed. We could hit, we could say 3 seconds like this. So that is going to be the toast. I remember when I was setting it up, when I was building this about a week ago, Flutter toast was at 3.13, but now it's at at 4.0. So I'm guessing that has been one of the changes. We will have a look at the documentation and see whether it will work in the same way or it will work differently. The documentation a bit. There have been a few changes that were made, and what we could do is we could make the toast colored. We could say the background color and say colors red like this, and I'm guessing to do that we need the Flutter material dart, yeah, so we can use the color. And then the text color, we could say the text color is colors dot white like this. And the font size is 16.0 like so. So yeah, so those are some of the issues when you use a package that is not actually provided in the Flutter SDK. It could change. There could be changes, so you might have to go back and forth and look at documentation to see if there are game-breaking changes and things like that. And yeah, so I think this toast message it actually appears as a sort of red toast. I think it's this one. We're going to use something that looks like this, but we're going to put it in the middle, right? So that is, we will see towards the end. That is what is going to happen with the toast. Now for the next widget. First we do a bit of cleanup. We remove that comma and we come to the widgets folder, right click and create a new .dat file called associate list. We can call it associate list and hit enter. And I just spotted something. I call this folder associate instead of associate, but it doesn't affect it much. So if you caught it on your side and corrected it, good on you. So first we create a stateless widget. So we type STLESS. I wish if you would type this for the first time, they would just also import the Flutter material that, but it doesn't do that. Hit tab and type associate list like this, and then of course import what we need to import. We'll use provider here, so we'll import Flutter material dat, and what we will return is we'll return a list view builder. Right, we will come here and type list view dot builder like this, and in it item builder is going to take the item builder is going to take the context and the index, right? And it is going to return an associate tile. It's going to return an associate tile. That's what we're going to build next, actually. So we would get an error here. Associate tile. We'll call it associate tile, and it will take a tile index like this, tile index, which is going to be index like this, and put of course a comma. It's doing this because we haven't built it, and put a semicolon. This is that after all, and here we're going to put in place an item count. The item count is going to come from provider. We created this, I think it's one of the last methods we created in the last video. So we're going to say provider.of and pass in the associate data and pass in the context, and we're going to say dot associate count like this, and we are going to import this. Now the provider just takes a value and exposes it. You normally hook it up at one of the higher levels, and we'll do that in coming videos. And I'll talk about provider more when we're doing it there, because we'll use it a lot more. So this is basically the provider, the associate list, and it will be displaying the various styles. And if you can remember, if you go back to associate data, or associate in our case, associate count, this is what we're exposing, right? And so we come back to, yeah, you see associate count like this, and we could also add a bit of padding, make things how am I typing passing padding. You could say edge inserts dot ltrb. From the left we put 8.0. From the top we can have 6.0. From the right we can have 8.0, and from the bottom we can put 4.0 like this. So yeah, so we have basically done the associate list, and now we are moving on to the associate tile. Of off camera, I corrected the spelling of associate here, and here on list and associate data. So if you're following along, you could correct or you could leave them as they are, and it's just nice to clean up the few niggles that are there. So what we're going to do next is create the associate tile file, and we come here, right click on widgets. It's not, wait, sorry. New dot file, we call it associate tile. That's the new dot file. We call it associate tile, like this. And this is going to be a stateless widget, right? So first things we're going to do is type STLESS like this, hit tab. That's going to be the autocomplete, associate tile, like so. And after that, we are going to import the Flutter material dot, as usual, Flutter material dot, like this, and put in the semicolon, like this. So, and now we're going to build the associate tile, the associate tile. It's going to create a final variable for the associate tile, and so that we can pass into one of the associate data methods, and we're going to call it tile index, final int tile index, like this. And yeah, and we're going to right click so that we can create the constructor. It can be created automatically, so save us a bit of time. We can delete the super part, like this, put in semicolon there. So that has been sorted, and after that we're going to use the consumer. Now the difference between consumer and producer.of, if you want to see it a bit in more detail explained, I will try and give the Cliff Notes version here, but you can look at my previous color matching app where I go into a bit more detail on how consumer works and how associate consumer works and how provider.of. Consumer rebuilds every time there's a change in data. Provider.of doesn't. So it just watches and monitors the changes in the model or whatever you're watching. And yeah, so consumer basically just calls the provider.of in a new widget, and it also delegates the build implementation to a builder. It's best seen, not explained. So let's get on with it. We are going to return here consumer, and we're going to hook it up to the associate data. Associate data. That's where we're going to hook it up to. After that, we're going to do that, and of course consumer comes from the provider, so we need to import that. And for the builder, takes in 3 arguments, that is context, the associate data. We won't use all of them, but I like to put them, instead of using underscores, let's just put them all so that you can see them, because in future you might be building something that uses all of them. So we're going to create a current associate to keep track, and it's going to be of type associate. So we could say associate current associate, and we're going to get associate, and it takes in the tile index like this. And we can, let's import the model so that it strongly typed language. Remember, this is the dot. So if we come here, get associate, where is it? Command F, let's just look for it. Get associate, like this. Yeah, get associate. Yeah, this one. You pass in the index, right, so you can get the specific associate. So that's what we are doing right now. Let's go back. and yeah, we're passing in the tile index. The tile index is of type integer, like you saw, like that. So after that, we are going to return now the UI portion. It's going to rebuild every time there is a change, and it is going to be a container like this, and the container is going to have a decoration. Now this decoration is what is used to create this patch, this gray white white gray white. So depending on the tile index, if it's tile 1 it gets gray, if it's tile 2 it gets white, like that. We could say color is tile index, and we check the modulus like this, and if there is no remainder, it's going to be colors dot gray, or whichever color. If you're more colorifically gifted than I am, you can pick some other color. We could say colors dot white, like so. You will see all these changes towards the end, because there's still a lot of hooking up. We have not even hooked up the provider to like the top of our app. So basically, this is the finished article from another. I built the app, then I ran it, but now I'm rebuilding it. So this is not from this, right? So we will see this all towards the end. We'll hit the run button. But for now, this is what we have to make do with. And yeah. Actually, this is meant to be in the container here. It's meant to be box decoration. So we should say decoration like this, and say box decoration like this, and put it here like so. Let's remove this comma like this, and yeah, so this is supposed to be inside the box decoration, and afterwards we can put the child. Wait, where's the box? That's the box. So outside the box we could say child like this, and the child is going to be a list style, so it's going to be a list style, and the leading is going to be, we're going to have this circle avatar, the circle avatar here. In case you hadn't noticed, right? What the hell, man? Like so, yeah. In case you hadn't noticed, that the first letter, when you create someone, the first letter of the name becomes what we see in the avatar. For example, let's create a new file. Let's call it, call him, or let's create a girl. What's a girl's name? I could say Anne. So let's say Anne. Anne's number is that. Her age is that. Is she a senior? Yes. When did she join? She joined on the 10th. Hit OK, and we hit save. You will find that you will see that Anne's circle avatar has the letter A. Max has M, FG has F, Kim has K, Alice has A, Sam has S, and M. So that's what is going to be in the circle avatar. And how we get that to work is, first we're going to put the background color. In case you hadn't noticed, on the app as I was building, the various shades of green that I used, like this green is not the same as the one on the circle avatar, is probably the same as the floating action button, and this one is a bit more lime greenish. So I think we should all streamline them, make them all sort of like the same type of green, right? So we're going to have the light green accent going forward. We're just going to use one shade of green, right? So on the circle avatar, we are going to put the background color. The background color is colors dot light green accent like this, and the child is going to be text, and the text is going to be current associate dot name, dot substring, and the substring, it's going to start at the first character, and it's only going to take that character. So like this, right? That's how you get them. If we wanted two, we would put maybe two. If you put two, it will have mi, or in case of an. So depending on what you want, if you want the first character, I think that Google thing, I saw it in Google where they only have the first character. I think it's pretty cool. So that's where the idea for that came in, right? And after that, we can put in the style, right? The style, basic style, it's just going to be text style. Oh god, text style like so. And we are going to put in the color as colors dot white, and the font size is going to be 16.0, like so. And you can make it bold. Let's make it bold. Font weight is going to be font weight dot bold, like so. Yeah. Okay. Now next, let's work on the text. The text here will be Mike's is the text, and the subtitle is going to be the number that you put in. So for example, if we were to add a name, let's call it do you have a James? Wait, let me just check. Do you have a James? We don't have a James. So let's add a James. Let's say James. The phone is going to be that 89. The age is going to be 45. He's a junior. The date is 11th, like so. So we're going to see hit save, of course. James, the phone is what is the subtitle. So let's deal with all that right about now. So we come outside the circle avatar, and we have a title like this, and it's going to have a text, and we're going to have the current associate. It's going to check if it's there, and dot name, and if it's not there, we're going to put an empty string like this. You can check if you go to dart, just check dart operators so that you can explain the two question marks. We could hit dart programming operators and just control command F and search for two question marks, like yeah. So you get, if expression 1 is non-null, returns its value, otherwise evaluates and returns the value of expression 2. So for example, if expression 1 is non-null, return its value, otherwise evaluate and return the value of expression 2. So yeah, so that's what it does. It checks if current associate dot name is non-null. If it is null, it returns the value. If not, it returns the what's it called, the empty string. And after that, the style, we're just going to basically use the same text style. So we could copy this here. We could copy this. Just come here, copy the style like so. So we could hit copy, and the text, hit that. Designing stuff isn't my forte. So after that, we're going to go under this, and we're going to go to the subtitle and the text, right? And it's going to be, oh, why is it colors the white? It shouldn't be colors dot white. It's just a font size. So let's get rid of the color. Like so. So the text is here. The text is going to be current associate dot the phone phone dot the phone is not it's an integer, remember, string. If you check our model, let's just go to our model and confirm associate dot data, and the phone is an integer. So what are we building? We're building this, yeah, we're here. And yeah, otherwise put an empty string like this. The style, we're just going to copy this style here. So we hit copy, and we can drop it in here. Hit command save, and after that we're going to have an on-tap method. You notice if we hit on-tap, we go to the associate view page, right? So for that we would just put an on. Where is supposed to put it? We're supposed to put it outside the text, right? On the list style. So we could just come here and say on tap like this, and pass in this method, and we would say provider. We're using provider.of because we do not want it rebuilt. I explained that a bit earlier. Associate data like this, and this is all in the documentation, of course. Listen folds dot set active associate, which takes in the dynamic key, and the dynamic key is going to be current associate dot key like this, right? So there's a reason we're getting this current associate dot key. We're being told the key isn't defined for the class associate, and the way we could go around this so that we can get the key, the auto generated by Hive. I actually, when we were building the Hive model, we should have extended on associate, should have extended the Hive object. This gives us access to various methods, like I'd said, and we forgot to do this, so we should say Hive objects like this, and come back to this, and you see the error goes away. Current associate dot key. So that's how you solve for that particular issue. What this method does is that it just takes in the key and allows you to get more information about that specific associate. We put it in the associate data. We can have a look at it. Associate data. We could go to command F current. What's the name? Let me just check. Current associate. Okay. Set active associate. Sorry. So command F set active associate, and you see it takes in a key here, and it uses a key to know which associate in particular you're talking about. So let's go back to our tile, right? And after that, we're going to just use a basic navigation method. We're going to say navigator dot push. We're going to push to a page we have not created. We'll create the pages next, and we're going to pass in the context. Just going to use a material page route, and the builder is going to be the context, and it is going to return the page in question is going to be associate view like this. We'll create it next like this, so we get this squiggly line and the error message because we have not created that page. So after this, we will in the next video we'll create the associate view. So yeah, we have done what we set out to do today. We built out the various widgets. We built out the toast. The toast usually appears when we are creating a new a new associate and you try to save or put a name that isn't long enough, that's the taste, the toast rather, not taste. And the associate tile is the individual tiles that we see here, right? And the associate list is the combined list. And yeah, those are the various widgets we're going to use. Thank you for following me through this video. This video has been a bit longer than the others, I'm guessing, but we have gotten to the point we set out to get, and we have achieved our goal. Thank you, and as always, like and subscribe, and have a good day.